if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, x squared minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. Without solving the equation, find the value of alpha over beta squared plus beta over alpha squared. Now the first thing that you always need to find is find the sum alpha plus beta. And you know that the sum is given by negative b over a. And so this is going to be negative. What is our b? Our b is negative 4 over a. We know a is 1. So this would basically be positive 4. And then alpha beta, which is given by c over a. And then c in this case is a 2, a is 1. So that basically is a 2. Now I want to work out alpha over beta squared plus beta over alpha squared. We made this as a single fraction. Multiply cross these two. That will be alpha cubed. And then also cross the others. That will be beta cubed. In the denominator, multiply the two denominators. Since both are squared, it will be alpha beta. I can put the square outside like that. Now I cannot substitute alpha cubed plus beta cubed. That means I need to factorize, okay? Alpha cubed plus beta cubed. And we said for that one is going to be alpha plus beta. Like whenever you see a plus here, just know that in the first bracket you are going to have a plus. If you see a minus in the first bracket, you're going to have a minus. Since in the first bracket you have got a plus, this is going to be alpha squared. You always put a minus here, alpha beta, and then plus beta squared. Okay, and then you've got a denominator, alpha beta, also squared. Now again, we're going to pair this alpha squared and this beta squared. We'll pair them together. So that is going to be again alpha plus beta. Then you have got alpha squared plus beta squared minus alpha beta. And then in the denominator, we have got alpha beta also squared. Again, the alpha squared plus beta squared, we know the identity that we're supposed to replace. So that will be alpha beta, alpha plus beta. Okay, where there's alpha squared plus beta squared, we're going to replace alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. And then remember also have a minus alpha beta. So that basically will give us minus 3 alpha beta. And then in the denominator, we have alpha beta squared. When you reach here, that's when you can now substitute. So the first we have got alpha plus beta. Alpha plus beta is a 4. And then in the brackets, you've got alpha plus beta again, which is a 4. You square that minus the 3 alpha beta, that is a 2. Okay, that. And then divided by alpha beta squared, which is a 2 squared. This gives us a 4, open brackets, 4 squared, 16 minus 6 over 4. 16 minus 6 is a 10. So basically this 4 and this 4 cancel out. 16 minus 6 is a 10. So this is the value then. Are we good? Please, a moment. Okay. All right. I don't know if you followed the first question or it has cut before you could realize. Let me just share this. Did you get the first question? Did we? That's unfortunate. All right, you follow the replacement to the numbers. Since I already simplified it, that's what is important. If alpha and beta are the roots of the equation x squared plus 3x minus 2, find the value of this one. Now the first thing to do is you do what? You get to find alpha plus beta, which is negative b over a. Okay, this will be negative. B here is a 3, a is 1, so it just be negative 3. And then alpha beta is going to be c over a. And c here is negative 2, a is 1, so it just be this. Now I want to work out 1 over alpha squared plus 1 over beta squared. This will give us cross multiply, that will be alpha squared plus beta squared, and then multiply the two denominators. Since they are all squared, it will be alpha beta, and then you square it. Now alpha squared plus beta squared, this will be alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. And then in the denominator, we've got alpha beta squared. Okay. And then where there's alpha plus beta, we replace the negative 3 squared minus 2. Where there is alpha beta, we replace a negative 2. And then in the denominator, alpha beta also, place a negative 2 squared. So this will give us a 9. 2 times negative 2, that is a positive 4, over a positive 4. And this is basically 13 over 4. So that is it. Okay? We also have this. Is it not the same? I think it was the same, except they've just changed the direction. Like it's almost the same. Here there was a 3. Yeah, there are different solutions, but like it's almost the same. Like the previous one we solved is just the difference of 3. So let's find alpha plus beta, which is given by negative b over a. So negative 4 over a is 1, so it just be negative 4. And then alpha beta is going to be c over a. And then c is negative 2 over 1, which is the a. So it's basically the same. Now we're working out 1 over beta squared plus 1 over alpha squared. Cross multiply or make this as a single fraction. That would be alpha squared plus beta squared divided by, since the alpha and the beta both squared, that's the alpha beta, and then you square that. So you know alpha squared plus beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta squared minus 2 alpha beta. Okay, and then in the denominator we've got alpha beta squared. Now we replace alpha plus beta, the negative 4 squared, minus 2 alpha beta, the negative 2, over negative 2 squared. Negative 4 squared, that's a 16, plus a 4 over a 4. 16 plus 4, 20 over 4, which is a 5. So that is it also.